Action and desire with depth and passion. Mars enters into the deep and passionate sign of Scorpio on October 12th, 2023. This is going to be a period of intense and transformative energy for everyone. Mars is the planet of action and desire, and Scorpio represents where we have depth and passion. And together, this is a combination that creates this potent blend of determination, ambition, and emotional intensity. During this time, you may experience a strong urge to delve deep into things that you are passionate about, your desires, your secrets, and hidden motivations. Expect to feel this assertiveness and this determination in pursuing your personal goals. This could be a time for you that brings out strong emotions and a tendency towards power struggles that you might have with others. Themes for this transit include intensity, desire, transformation, being focused and driven in your pursuits. Relationships may become more passionate and intimate. This is friendship and business. Use caution regarding jealousy and possessiveness with other people. This can be a time for you to pursue your goals with determination while being mindful of the potential for emotional intensity and power dynamics in your personal and professional relationships. Hi, I'm Patricia Tate, your astrologer, and this is your Mars in Scorpio forecast for October 12th, 2023. So let's dive in. Aries Sun and Aries Rising. So for Aries, your ruling planet is Mars. And for you, that is in your 8th house. Your 8th house is where Mars is very comfortable, in the sign of Scorpio. Mars is very passionate and driven and going after what it wants, in the sign of Scorpio. Deep, intense, and psychological. And the 8th house is the house of your shared resources. It's your cash and property that's tied up with other people, or it's where we have contracts with other people. The 8th house is your debt, your income. It could be obligations, inheritances, wills. It's where we want to have these deep connections with other people. Now, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So now we want to bring in 10th house topics that have to do with your career, your public life, your public reputation, your professional standing, how people see you in your social status, or what you want to achieve in life. And so adding in another topic, as Mars goes through your 8th house of these shared resources, you going after these things, what's going to oppose you is your 2nd house, because Jupiter and Uranus are here. And so Jupiter is this planet of expansion, and this is what I personally want to do. I want to expand on my personal money, my resources, my skill set, my income. And Uranus is saying, I have this bigger picture that I see, that it's a stroke of genius, it's unique, this is what I want to do. How can I share my resources with other people, or my contracts with other people, to make this happen? Pluto is in a trine here. Pluto is also in a sextile with Neptune in your 12th house. Neptune is the planet of wanting to merge together and blend everything together. But in your 12th house, the 12th house it's about your intuition, your dreams, your psychic ability, and but it's self-sabotage. And it's you, Aries, going after shared resources that you can have with other people, and how it will oppose your skill set, your cash, your property, and your money, your finances, your values, your opinions, and how can you best use these resources that you have with other people for your career, your legacy, what you want to leave behind, things that you want to achieve, using caution with your 12th house. I need to tune into my intuition. I need to tune into my hidden enemies are here, but my dreams, my gut instinct of what it is telling me that I should do. And Mars can be very cutting and removing and saying, you do not align with this goal. And that goal is going to have to do with you, because it's your 1st house. It has to do with everything of your appearance, your self-expression. And so you're going to have to find a balance between what you are going after that you share with others, and how will it support you with your personal money resources, your personal financial condition, your personal salary and income, and how can this benefit you for the legacy that you want to leave behind, or your job or your career, by tuning in and being cautious that you're not overstepping a boundary of being unyielding or being so determined that you do not see the path that you can work together. So Aries, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. Please check out the other astrology forecasts that I have for October and November, and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I either offer full or new moon astrology forecasts or tarot consultations at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, Aries is Mars is going into your 7th house. Mars rules over your 12th house themes. So intuition, dreams, psychic ability, hidden enemies, didn't see this coming. And so we have Mars going after 7th house topics of your friends, your partners, your contractual agreements that you have with other people, your one-on-one relationships. The 7th house is your social contracts and your social promises that you have with others. It's also about negotiation, and it can include open enemies and exes. So in the sign of Scorpio is deep, intense connections and loyalty from others. Now, Pluto is ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is in your 10th or your 9th house. The 9th house is my house of wanting to travel, wanting to connect with others, wanting to dive into spirituality. It's about foreign people, places, things. It's about publishing and imports and exports and legal matters. And it's about finding adventure. So these topics of these are the people that I want to do these things with. How do I manifest these and make them happen? Now, Pluto is in a trine with what is going to be opposing you. An opposition is what stops you or what blocks you or what do you have to incorporate, what has to come together. As Mars goes through the 7th house of relationships, it's going to oppose everything that has to do with who are you, your appearance, your power, your self-expression, your health, your vitality, your strength, your habits, your desires, your demeanor. The first house I look at is how people see you. It's like your business card or your website. And so Jupiter is here. Jupiter is, this is what I want to show to everybody. And Uranus is, it's unique, it's creative, it's think outside the box and shifting and pivoting quickly. And so this opposition is, I want to go after this and I want to connect with this. I might be jealous with this partner. I might feel jealous in this relationship with this friend. I might feel possessive over this business partnership. How does that make me feel? How do I incorporate that? How do I feel more stable, more secure in this relationship? I also want to bring in Neptune because Pluto is in a trine with Neptune. So where are we going to get support with this? So the support is going to be given that you are going to go after or have these strong desires with people that you want to trust and connect on a deep level that are intimate with you. So marriage partners, business partners, friends, clients, significant others. But it's going to oppose some possessiveness that you may have. Pluto is in your 9th house of connecting with foreign people, places, and things. And it is going to support you with, look, there has to be some kind of transformation. You cannot have things the same all the time. You have to grow, you have to trust, you have to evolve, you have to change. Now, it also is sextiling Neptune. Neptune is in your 11th house of your personal hopes, wishes, dreams, goals. And who do you support yourself with in order to manifest those dreams and those goals? And Neptune is using your intuition. It's blending and bending. And Mars in Scorpio does not want to blend or bend for anything. It wants to cut and remove anybody that gets in its way because it can be jealous or possessive. It's you going after these goals, these people with determination and fierceness. And so you're going to have to be mindful of your emotional intensity and these power dynamics that may play out in your personal and your professional relationships, because that will shift who you are, how people see you, and focus on how do I connect with my dreams, my hopes, my wishes, and maybe connect with other groups that can support you, either through networking through friends or networking through work. Paying attention to what your intuition says to you, because Aries is your 12th house of your personal unconscious, dreams of connecting to the private world that I don't share with other people, my intuition, the connection to the spiritual realm. Maybe taking time out to say, is this worth it to cut or remove this person? Or can I forgive in this area of my life? Or can I forgive and maybe not forget, and maybe just say, okay, give them another chance? Because this is you being very straightforward and fierce and going after everything of what you want in this house of contracts. All right, so Taurus, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the monthly forecast for October and November, and join me live Eastern Standard Time at 6 p.m. where I offer new moon or full moon astrology consultations, or on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, Mars is going into your 6th house of your personal health, well-being, finding a mentor, finding a guide. It's your relationship with coworkers and employees. It's also diet and illness and nutrition, and you being very assertive with your self-care or alternative health and well-being. And so Mars is the ruler of your personal house of your personal dreams, your goals, your networks of who do you reside with in order to manifest what you want to happen. Pluto rules over Scorpio is the ruler of Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And so Pluto is the planet of transformation in your 8th house of your shared resources, of these connections that you have with other people. These can be binding contracts. The 8th house is cash and property, alimony, child support, wills, taxes, inheritance. It's also where we desire to have these deep connections. And so these topics are all being brought together. And what's going to oppose you? What is going to oppose you is your 12th house. An opposition is something that is blocking that you have to work through. Are you taking enough time to pay attention to what you want to manifest? Jupiter in your 12th house is manifesting my personal, my private inner world. It's the angels, it's the guides, it's the shamanic work, it's other dimensions. The 12th house is where we go for rest and retreat, where we withdraw and in order to tune in to what is our mind and body telling us that it needs and that it wants. Uranus is thinking outside the box. It's being unique. It's where we have the stroke of genius of how can I use my intuition to guide me where I want to go. And Mars in your 6th house is saying, I have to be assertive. I have to cut this away. I have to remove this. I have to move forward with this. I have to make these things happen. Pluto is in this harmonious aspect with your 12th house saying, take time out for you. Make sure that you're finding a balance between your home and your work. Make sure that you're focused on what are your dreams, what are your hopes before you are volunteering and offering service to everybody else. Do you need to find a mentor, a counselor, a guide, a doctor, somebody who you can trust and to hear you out to say, these are my needs that I need to focus on in order to do better with what I want to accomplish. Pluto is also in a beautiful sextile to Neptune in your 10th house of your career, your legacy, how people see you. The 10th house is government, bosses. It's about public reputation. It's where we leave a mark on society. And Pluto is saying that, look, with your shared resources, you can go after what you want and what you need, but you have to take time out for you. You have to be focused on your health, mental, physical, spiritual, psychological well-being, and who do you search out? And if you're seeing a counselor and it's not doing you any good, then you need to seek out somebody new. If you're seeing a doctor and you're not seeing the results that you need, then maybe seek out somebody else. Mars is not it's not willing to bend. Mars is saying, I can cut this out and I can move forward with this in this area of my life. I need to move forward and make these things happen. I need to be focused on these topics, and I need to tune into taking out time out for myself, to tune into the spiritual realm, to meditate, to say, I need to withdraw and I need to connect with like other dimensions than always paying attention to work and home, taking time out to fill your cup before you fill the cup with other people. So Gemini, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the astrology forecast for October and November and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology readings and tarot on the opposite weeks. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, Mars is going into your 5th house of joy, children, pleasure, affairs. The 5th house is your investments, it's sports, it's gambling, it's recreation, it's romance, creativity, it's hobbies, it's how you express yourself. And so this is you initiating and going after these topics, these themes in your life. Now, Mars is the ruler of your 10th house, of your career, your public life, your life path, authority figures. It is your public reputation, your social status. It is how people see you in the outside world. So these topics are going to blend together. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And so Pluto is the planet of transformation and birth, death, rebirth. In your 7th house of friends, significant others, as in business partners or marital partners. It's also one-on-one clients, and it's the house of open exes or open enemies. And so what is going to oppose you? What's going to oppose you is your personal hopes, wishes, and dreams. An opposition is when Mars is going to be going through there saying, I want to do this activity, I want to do this activity, I want to connect with these people, I want to focus on my children, or focus on lovers, or focus on any of those topics that bring you pleasure. The opposition is your 11th house of, these are my hopes, my wishes, my dreams, and these are the people that I need to connect up with in order to manifest them for my career. Jupiter is in your 11th house of those dreams, those aspirations. It's your shared beliefs and your shared networks. And so this might be you leaving some of those networks and saying, I no longer want to do that sport activity, or I no longer want to be part of that. Uranus here is the planet of genius. Think outside the box. How do I make this happen? And Uranus with Jupiter can expand that these networks that you have, maybe you have more things in common than you thought, and it will be cutting away less of them. Remember that Mars wants to cut and sever and remove. And so this could be you cutting and severing and removing some activities that you've wanted to, it could be cutting away a child and saying, you've got this, you're an adult now, or you're off to college, or it could be cutting away an affair that you've had, or initiating. I want to do this. I want to risk this. Mars in Scorpio is, I feel a deep connection. I want to do this. And with Pluto in your 7th house, this could be taking steps to move things forward to another level. Now, the Pluto is in a trine to the Jupiter and Uranus, saying, I'm going to support you for this opposition that you have. Neptune is in a sextile to Pluto. Neptune is where we want to blend and merge with others, but things can get a little bit blurry. And Neptune in your 9th house is, I want to travel. I want to connect up with foreign people, places, things. I want to have things published. And so this is you taking your 5th house themes of, this is really what I want to do, and these are my dreams, and how do I manifest this? I want to get this published, or these are some legal matters, or I need to connect up with things that are cross-cultural, and this will be bringing in some type of partnership, whether it be business partnership or significant partners, like marital partners, themes. And it'll have to do with your career, your job, your legacy, your public life, your professional life, your ambitions, and your reputation. And so at this time, make sure that you are using caution regarding jealousy or possessiveness. This could be with children, with lovers, with partners, that significant partners or friends. And be mindful of the potential that you have to pursue all of these goals, because once you put your mind to it, you can be an unstoppable force. There can be a lot of power dynamics in your personal and professional relationships at this time. So Cancer, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. And for more, please check out the monthly forecast for October and November, and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I either discuss, offer readings for the full moon or new moon, and on the off Tuesdays, tarot. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, Mars is moving into your 4th house of home. The 4th house is tradition, family, roots, foundation. It's your past. It's your real estate. It's your property. It's genealogy. It's anybody who feels like family. It doesn't have to be blood family, but anybody who feels like it. And it's those people that you surround yourself with that shape you in life. Now, Mars is very comfortable in Scorpio, going after and being very direct and cutting and removing and moving forward with what it wants to do. Now, it rules over Aries. Aries is your 9th house of where I want to travel, my connection to foreign people, places, things. It's about higher education, religion, philosophy. The 9th house is your house of where I want to connect with other people, with being a teacher, where the teacher becomes a student, diving into more classes, more workshops. The 9th house is also adventure, and it's about travel to other places, and it's also law and advertising. So know that these topics, these themes are going to be brought up. Now, Scorpio is, Pluto is ruler of Scorpio. So now we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, in your 6th house of your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being, and finding guidance and support through others. This can be through a counselor. This can be through a mentor. This can be through a trusted relative. The 6th house is where you have to take care of yourself first, and it's your daily habits. It's what you give to others. And Pluto here is wanting to support you with, what do you want to do that has to do with your home and places that you want to go, and taking care of your needs, your psychological needs, your mental needs first before doing anything else with anybody else. Now, Pluto is going to support you with your 10th house themes, because Mars going through your house of home, what's going to oppose you is your career, your job, your life path. The 10th house themes are your public reputation. It's your professional life. It's you being seen in the outside world, and you doing some things at home can be opposed by how you're seen in the outside world with, this could be honors, awards, your social status. It's where you leave a mark on society. And so you going after things and cutting them away, and this could be with family or who you consider to be family, could be seen in the outside world as you being jealous, you being possessive, you being self-centered. And it's not that that's really what's happening, but that could be what is being perceived. Pluto in your 6th house is here to support you with lending a helping hand, and it's also going to support you with a sextile to Neptune. Neptune is where we merge with others. It's spirituality. It is in your 8th house of your shared resources. It's the house of deep bonding. So these are people that you have these deep connections with, or these shared resources with, that they are going to be part of the solution of supporting you with where you have to have these boundary issues of things that have to be severed, cut, or removed. And there might be some power dynamics that have to do at home with either your personal or your professional relationships. You going after things and saying, this may have been the home that I grew up in, but this is not how I want it to be in my life now. Or this is what I've had before, and now I need to sever some of these ties in order to create the healthy home where I feel safe, I feel secure, I feel supported in order to move forward with. So for Leo, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the October and November astrology forecast, and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology consultations, and on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, Mars is now going into your 3rd house. This is the house of the way that you communicate. It's through relationships with your siblings, with your neighbors. It is writing. It's spirituality. It's your cousins. It's acquaintances. It's neighbors. It's letters and textbooks. And it's all things with basic education. And it's also you connecting with other people and talking and exchanging ideas. And this is about wanting to connect with your general area, and maybe being direct and saying, no, these are my needs, these are my wants, these are my desires, and your word being deep and intense with, this could be your siblings or your cousins. Now, Mars rules over your 8th house of your shared resources. Of the contracts that you have with other people. It's also the house of deep bonding. It's the house of alimony, child support, wills. It's the house of debt and obligation. And so know that those themes are going to layer into the story about what is going on with you. Now, Pluto rules over Scorpio. Pluto is the planet of deep transformation, and it is in your 5th house of children and pleasure and what brings you joy. And it's the house of affairs. It's the house where we throw caution to the wind. It is risks and hobbies. And so those themes are going to layer in. This is you wanting to communicate. This is who I am, and this is what I have to say, and this is what I feel deeply, and I want to be supported in this. Now, what's going to oppose you? Well, you traveling, you connecting with foreign people, places, things, you with long distance travel, adventure. It could be you teaching, you taking classes, you wanting to do these things, but not maybe having the time for it. You following your dreams and wanting to dive into, I want to travel, I want to connect, I want to dive into spirituality, I want to understand this, and why do you not understand this? And this is severing some connections or some possible beliefs that you may have had with maybe people who were supporting you, or maybe thoughts that you did have with now new information that you do have that you've gained along the way. Now, Pluto, okay, so an opposition is what opposes you, what you have to bring together. Your words, your thoughts, the way that you communicate, because you're very passionate about what you have to say and you're wanting to share this. How do you find a way to share this? Uranus is opposing you, and Uranus is saying you have to think outside the box. You have to be creative with this. Maybe use the internet, maybe you use YouTube, maybe through university. Jupiter is saying think of the bigger picture and use those strategies in order to accomplish your goals. Now, Pluto is going to support you. Pluto is the fifth house, is what brings you joy, and Pluto is saying, okay, we're going to have to transform some things that you're doing. It is also in a sextile to Neptune in your seventh house. Neptune is what you dream. It's about wanting to bond and connect with others on a deep level. And the seventh house is your partnerships. These are friendships that you're very close with. They're also business partners, significant partners, and it's your one-on-one relationships that you have with clients. It's also the house of open enemies and exes. And so you have this strong desire to share your words, to share your education, to share and to cut away and remove that, no, I don't believe in that. No, this is about you and power dynamics. And you need to be very mindful of your potential and your emotional intensity that you're going to have with your words and how you're going to share them with others. And that could be the opposition of coming across too harsh, coming across as jealous or possessive. And so Pluto is going to support you, and Neptune is going to support you with, look, use caution with these power dynamics in your personal and your professional relationships. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can cut and remove things. Use caution with your words, that they're not always cutting and biting. Get to where you want to be, but be mindful with the way that you are pursuing your goals, and using this determination to have a way that you can connect up with people, that they feel your passion, that they feel your desire for what you want to share in a loving and kind and deep connected way. So for Virgo, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. And for more, please check out the October and November astrology forecast and join me Tuesdays live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon consultations. And on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Libra Sun and Libra Rising, Mars is going into your second house. The second house for you is your money, your finances, your values, your opinions, your salary. It is your possessions. It's your financial condition. It's your self-esteem. It's your work ethic. It's your skill set. And this is you going after everything that has to do with what is going to represent you, your values and your opinions. Going after, I deserve this pay raise. Going after, I deserve this for, I want this. And being very assertive and cutting away things that no longer serve you. Now, Mars rules over your seventh house of partners and relationships. It's the Aries part of your life with significant others, your clients, your one-on-one, your business partners. And so those themes are going to be brought into the story that unfolds with Mars going through this house. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is currently in your fourth house of home, family, roots, foundation. So these topics are also going to be brought in, but they're going to support you. So Mars is going to go through your second house of your personal resources and your skill set. And as it does, it's going to oppose your eighth house of your shared resources, the things that you have with other people, the house of that you have contracts with, your joint obligations. So this is alimony, child support, your debt, your wills, your taxes, your inheritances. It's also private affairs, deep bonding, and it's the house of wanting these deep connections that you share with other people. And so this is what's going to oppose you, that you have to work with. Mars in Scorpio is being very assertive, very jealous, very possessive over this is mine and that is yours. And so I'm encouraging you to be mindful of this and pursue your goals with determination, but being mindful of the potential of your emotional intensity that you're going to have at this time. Pluto in your house of home and your family is going to support you, offering you this trine to these eighth house themes of your contracts that you have with other people. It will also be in a sextile to Neptune. Neptune is in your house of mentorship, guides, my daily, my balance between work and home and my daily habits, and saying, look, pay attention to your dreams and your intuition. Use caution with your words. Go after what you know your value is, your worth, but make sure that you have your support system on board with it, bringing everybody in and just not saying, nope, this no longer, that contract's no good, or no, I don't want to be involved with you in this relationship anymore, or no, I don't want to share these resources with you. No, think of it as a way that how can I get what I need and not sever this relationship completely. Maybe you just need a little bit of time apart, because remember that Mars in Scorpio can be jealous, and this is you looking at your shared resources and saying, I might not be getting my full half of the pie here, or I might not be getting everything that I want for myself, and I might have to take this contract back and renegotiate. Do so, but do it with caution. Do it with not wanting to sever things, but going back and saying, how can this be a win situation? Because Jupiter and Uranus in your eighth house is, Jupiter's the house of abundance, of your shared resources are going to bring you abundance. Uranus here is thinking outside the box and being creative. It's unique, and it's where we have this genius of, oh, together we can accomplish so much more. And it'll have something to do with partners, and something that'll have to do with maybe getting guidance or mentorship, or paying attention to something that has to do with bettering your home. All right, so Libra, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the monthly forecast for October and November, and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology forecasts, and on the off Tuesdays, tarot consultations. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, Mars going into your first house of self is you being very assertive with your health, your vitality, your habits, your desires, your interests. It is about your demeanor. It is your identity and your image. This is what I want, and this is what I want now. Now, use caution, because you're going to come across as being very aggressive, very assertive. This in this house can be possessive and being just, this is what I want, and cutting away things right away. Now, Mars rules over your sixth house, Aries, of the balance between work and home. And the sixth house is where I find a balance between work and home, and how I take care of myself, my daily habits. It's the house where I have mentorship, or getting support from guidance from a counselor, or support from other people. It's where I need to tune into my mental, physical, spiritual, psychological health and well-being. Now, Pluto is ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto is currently in your third house of how are you communicating? Are you sharing this with your neighbors, with your family? Who are you talking about this with? And so Pluto is here to support you, saying, look, let's transform the way that you are speaking and talking and making things a win-win situation. What is going to oppose you? As Mars goes through your first house of self, it is going to oppose your seventh house relationships. This is with business partners, significant others, your marriage partners, your friends, your clients. It will be exes and it's open enemies. And so when it goes through here, this house is going to be effective of, no longer need you in my life. Boom, going to cut that away. No, I no longer want those services. No, I'm no longer going to provide these services. Pluto in your third house is going to offer you this trine to your seventh house of, let's work on the way that we word things. Neptune is dreamy and intuitive, and it's feeling the feels. And Neptune is in a sextile with Pluto, saying, look, use your intuition. The fifth house is what brings you joy. And it's not about cutting everything away. It's about shaving some things off and definitely focusing on yourself, but not being jealous or possessive. It's about tuning into who you are, pursuing your goals with determination, but looking at your partnerships, your relationships, your friends, and saying, I need to be mindful of their potential also, of my intensity and how I come across to them, and maybe some of these power dynamics that I feel insecure about. And I need to find people that I can trust and people that I feel secure with, that I can be myself and share these thoughts and these ideas with, that I know have got my back at all times. And make sure that I'm not fighting these power dynamics in my personal and professional life at this time, because there are people in my life that are supporting for me stepping into who I am and hearing my voice, and me being authentic with knowing what I've gone through the last year and a half of my life, and surrounding myself with those people. All right, so Scorpio, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the October and November astrology forecast and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. And on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, Mars is going to be going into your 12th house. I love this. Mars in the 12th house is the shamanic work. It's paying attention to your dreams, your intuition. It's the house of angel guides and other dimensions. It's also the house of prisons and institutions and hospitals. And so it's you taking time out and saying, I need to set aside time for my mental well-being, my health, my spiritual well-being. I need to kick this habit. I need to pay attention to what I know to be true for my body. I need to meditate. I need to have a private time for myself to tune into what fuels me. So Mars is the ruler of your fifth house, of your personal joy, affairs, children, creativity, art, music. It's how you express yourself with risks and hobbies, and you taking some time out to say, I need to figure out what are these things that bring me joy. I think I know what they are, but I really need to take some time out. I need to focus on tuning in to what spirit is telling me, what my intuition is telling me. Because if I don't, my body will fail me, my mind will fail me. I need this, I need to rely on this in order to do well in life. Now, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the ruler of your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, your money, your finances, your salary, your income, your self-esteem. And so Pluto here is saying that if I tune into these things, my self-worth will be validated. My cash, my property, my resources will be validated. It will increase. I will not feel completely depleted by what I give away to others. Now, Neptune is also going to support. Neptune is your house, your home, your family, your roots, your foundation. What is going to oppose you? As Mars goes through your 12th house, it'll be a time of, I really need to take a lot of time out for myself. I need to take time out to meditate. I need to take time out. Remember, it could be the house of doctors and hospitals or respite, where you just are taking time out to tune into dreams. And this could be you paying attention to those dreams, focusing on what messages that you are receiving in your dreams. What's going to oppose you? Your 6th house of mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being, your daily habits, and the service that you give to others. The 6th house is also the house of where we find mentorships or alternative healing or guidance from counselors or guidance from anybody, spiritual practitioners, anybody that you could get other support from. So you're trying to take time out for yourself, and what is opposing you is finding a balance between your work and your home. And you feeling that you have these daily habits, that you have to do things at 100% all the time, and it's all or nothing for you. And are you paying attention to your health? Because as a Sag rising, you jump on something, you accomplish it, and then you pull back and stop and you move on to something else. And Jupiter and Uranus in your 6th house is saying you need to start a regimen for your health, for your well-being, that you can continue on for the long haul. You cannot just start something and then say, okay, I've been to the counselor 3 times, we're good. I've seen that mentor twice, and I got all I need from them. Or I reached my goal weight, or I started exercising, and then it goes to the wayside. It's about you saying, how do I manage this? How do I focus on creating these habits that are going to benefit me and help me for the long haul? And taking time out to tune into what are your goals and what represents home to you and what is your self-worth. Because Pluto in your 2nd house is going to be trining this, offering you a great transformation, but you have to make it last. And Neptune says not only outside in the outside world, you have to make those changes at your home, at your core, at your foundation of what you do on a daily basis. All right, so Sag, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out October and November's astrology forecast and join me live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology consultations. And on the off Tuesdays, I will offer tarot consultations. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, Mars is moving into your 11th house. This is your personal house of your dreams, your intuition, your where do you want to go in life, your hopes, your aspiration. It's social groups. It's the house of networking. It is shared creativity, shared beliefs. It's kindred spirits. And Mars is very comfortable here. This is you going after what you want to do. Now, Mars also rules over your 4th house of Aries, your home, your roots, your foundation, your people who you consider family and actual family. Now, Pluto is the ruler of your Scorpio house and is in your first house of yourself, your personality, your appearance, your strength, your habits, your image, your identity, your body. And so we're going to tie together a story about what do you want to accomplish for your career, for your legacy, of what you want to do in the outside world. Remember, the 11th house is the house that you connect with others for things that you want to accomplish. And this could be creativity or it could be for career. Now, what is going to oppose you? Your 5th house of children, and it's going to be affairs or children, or the 5th house is investments, and it's recreation, it's pleasure, it's fun. It's the 5th house is how you express yourself with your hobbies and things that you want to do. And so you're wanting to go after your goals, but some of these things, and it could be children, this could be difficulties that you have with children, or it could be children moving in and out of your home, it could be affairs, it could be creativity of who you connect up with in order to reach those goals. So Pluto is in a beautiful trine to support you with this opposition, with what you want to do. Pluto is saying there's going to have to be some transformations over who you are, and really, are those your goals? Are those the things that you want to do? Do you really want to be networking with those people? Pluto is going to ask you those hard questions. Then we're going to have Neptune. Neptune is in your 3rd house of communication. Neptune is in a sextile with Pluto, saying, I'm going to support you with the way that you say, the words that you use, the way that you're networking. Remember that Mars in Scorpio can be very determined, but can be jealous and possessive. They have that, I want that. I'm reminding you that just because somebody else has something, that might not be for your best and highest good. It's a dry pill to swallow. I also look at it and say, oh, I really want that. And then my husband will remind me, really? Is that really what you want? And I have to think, No, I really don't want. I want this. Well, then that reminds me of what I really should go after. So I'm reminding you that what is it that you really want to go after? Because it should be your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, and who do you connect up with? Maybe cutting away some time that you're spending with some of your peers in order to join others. Whenever Mars is in any sign, Mars severs, cuts, removes, and Neptune is reminding you to be use caution with neighbors and your siblings, your family, and saying, let's be kind with our words. Let's not allow this to be power dynamics. Don't let it be your way or the highway. Take time to pursue your goals with determination, but be mindful of the potential and the emotional intensity that you're going to have at this time. Because this is going to be with your personal and your professional relationships as you move forward, Capricorn. So I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. For more, please check out the monthly forecast for October and November, and join me live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology forecasts, and on the off Tuesdays I offer tarot consults. And please subscribe to get updates as soon as they're released. So for Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising, Mars is now moving into the top of your chart. The top of your chart is your career, your life path, it's authority, it is your public reputation, it's people seeing you in the outside world, it is leaving your mark on society, it is what do you want to achieve, your professional life, your ambitions, your reputation. And Mars here is going after it and cutting away anything that gets in your way. So let's talk about the pros and the cons that can go along with this. Mars rules over your 3rd house of the way that you communicate, and your siblings and your neighbors, and this competition of being assertive, but what is too much assertiveness, and the words that you choose to use. Now, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto's in your 12th house. The 12th house is your fears It's also paying attention to your dreams, your intuition, your angel guides. It's about your subconscious, and it's about tuning into what do you need to do in order to get where you want to be. And it's not being so assertive that you cut everybody out and climb over top of everybody else. And so what's going to oppose you? Your home. An opposition is what is opposite of, or what is blocking, or what the difficulty that you have to work through. Mars in Scorpio is, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. I want to focus on me. I want to focus on my career. Jupiter and Uranus are in your 4th house of home. Don't forget, you have to bring in topics of how is this going to affect my home. Jupiter here is your home is expanding. Uranus is a stroke of genius, and how can I use this? How can I be unique? How can I be creative with my home, my family, my roots, my foundation? The 4th house is your personal life, and it's also with people that you feel like are family. And so you're going to have to use caution with your jealousy, your possessiveness, with career, and with the people that are at home. You pursuing your goals with determination, but being mindful that you're paying attention to intuition, because Pluto is in this beautiful trine to your 4th house, offering you a way to transform how you say and what you, by focusing on your dreams and your intuition, paying attention to your spirit guides. Neptune in your 2nd house. The 2nd house is your self-worth, your cash, your property. Those topics, like you are saying, I have to do this for my career. And Neptune is saying, I need to be a little bit vulnerable with Pluto here. I need to use caution with my words. I need to use caution with who I cut out of my life, who I climb over in order to get what I want. I need to pursue my goals. I need to be determined, but I also need to be mindful of my emotional intensity, and not everybody can take a 10 when you're offering a 15. And so the people at home can be hurt. The people at work can be taken aback by your directness. And so it'll be about power dynamics and your personal and professional relationships of how do you use your words, and using caution to not go behind people's back, to not be jealous, not feel possessive, and owning what is yours, going after what is yours, pursuing these goals, because now is going to be your time to focus on your career. All right, so for Aquarius, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. To hear more, please check out the October and November astrology forecast, and join me live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon or new moon astrology consults, and on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, Mars is now moving into your 9th house. This is beautiful for you picking and choosing, where do you want to take classes? Where do you want to take workshops? Where do you want to travel? Who do you want to connect up with on a broader scale? This is about you seeking adventure. This could be you wanting to travel. It could be publishing. This is the house of legal matters. This is about cross-cultural experiences. And so Mars here is you saying, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I want to take this class, or I want to teach this class. I want to publish this. This is what I want to do. And no regards to other things about putting your needs above others. Now, Mars rules over Aries, which is your 2nd house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, and your skill set. So know that those themes are going to be brought in and expanded upon. Now, Pluto is ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto is in your 11th house of your personal hopes, wishes, dreams, and a transformation of who do you network with in order to manifest these things, and you going after what you want. Now, what will oppose you? your third house of who you communicate with, how you communicate, the way that you communicate. The third house is the house of siblings, neighbors, people that you work with. The third house is how you say things. It's about education. It's the way that you talk and exchange your ideas, whether it be through email, phone, text. And so the opposition is going to be, I want to go after what I want. I want to do this. This is what I think. I want to dive into this spirituality. I believe in this. And being very assertive, being very possessive. What's going to oppose is Jupiter and Uranus is I have to think outside the box. I have to be creative with the way that I word things or who I share my ideas with. Jupiter in this house is offering you a way to do things, but you're going to have to be creative. Maybe you want to launch a project, or maybe you want to travel somewhere. Jupiter in the third house and Uranus there is offering you a way to use your genius, use your unique thoughts and ideas in order to accomplish these goals, but there's going to have to be some give and take. Now, Pluto is going to support you because Pluto is going to be in a trine, saying you might have to fine tune and tweak your goals or the people, the networks in which you go travel in, or that you it's networks of your hopes, your organizations, these shared creativity. It's your social circle, these shared beliefs. These might have to be fine tuned and tweaked. Also, Neptune is in your first house, is in a sextile to Pluto. Neptune is dreamy, intuitive, and sometimes it can have like the rose-colored glasses. It's in your first house of self, of this is really who I want to be, and this is what I want to do, and how can I accomplish these things? Well, it might be shifting and fine-tuning and tweaking them, because it comes down to you need to feel good about yourself with whatever that is that you do. And it's, can you live with yourself with jealousy and possessiveness? Because Mars in Scorpio it'll cut deep. It's like you doing something and then somebody not believing in it and you just wanting to cross them off right away. I'm not saying cross them off. I am saying that there's going to have to be some boundaries. This is you taking the time out to pursue your goals, to have this determination of diving into that spirituality, taking that class, or traveling to that location, but wording it in a way that you are being mindful of the potential of your emotional intensity and these power dynamics that might come up between your personal and your professional relationships. This could be with siblings or family or neighbor or things that are close to home with you. So Pisces, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. And for more, please check out the October and November astrology forecast and join me live Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon or full moon astrology forecasts. And on the off Tuesdays, I offer tarot consultations. And please subscribe to get updates as soon as they're released.